to the Inspiring Vanessa Show. I'm your host, Inspiring Vanessa, and today I'm joined by my guest, which is Sienna Arif Knights. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me, Vanessa. I'm so happy to be on your show. I'm Sienna Arif Knights, and I'm a dancer, and I play Sally Hope in Mallory Towers.
So in the interview today, we're going to talk all about Sienna's journey with acting and dancing. So just going to jump into the first question, which is when and why did you start dancing?
So I actually started dancing when I was 5. When I was younger, I was always kind of a dancer and a singer. You know, I used to run around my house dancing.
A little drama queen.
Yeah, a little drama queen. But I actually started real dancing when I was 10. Professional dancing, competitions. I joined my dance school, Twin Dance, and I did ballet, street dance, a little bit of contemporary, a little bit of acrobatics. And I think mostly just the reason why I started off at first with Twin Dance was only running for 3 years, so I was in their first year. And it wasn't too intense, it was just, little dances. Little dances. And I think maybe the reason why, just because I loved it, you could tell I loved it. When you see a really bubbly little child on the street and you can just tell. I just loved it. So my mum was like, let's get you into a dance school. But
that is so great to hear. That kind of just goes into my next question, which is, what's your favourite dance style to perform in?
That is a very interesting question. I think it has to be street dance. And I think maybe because in competitions, that's the one I have won the most in. I think
Subtle flex.
I think maybe the reason why is because it just gets me really hyped up. And I think I can't explain it, but I think for contemporary, for me, it stresses me out a lot. I love it so much, and it's a way for me to show my emotions as well, because it's definitely a really sad type of dance. But street dance, I just feel the love. I can't explain it. I just feel the love when I do it. It's just really hyped, really energetic. Everyone's screaming, and it's a nice feeling. It's not a stressful feeling. I think that's why, yeah.
It's the atmosphere and the energy you get when you're performing in that style.
For sure, yeah.
So you can definitely say that what you do requires a lot of confidence. Mm-hmm. So did you always have a lot of confidence? And if not, how did your confidence grow?
I think this question kind of touches home because when I was younger, as I said, I was really bubbly. I had a lot, bundles of confidence. And I think obviously when you start dancing when you're younger, you don't think about judgments. You don't think about judgmental comments. You don't think about am I going to win? It's just for fun. I think when I got to the age of 13, so that's when I joined secondary, we all know how that goes. I think when I joined secondary, it was, my confidence really dropped. It really did drop. And I think the only thing that was keeping me going was dance. If we're talking in general, definitely my confidence dropped. I don't know how to say it, but it was dance just made me feel safer. I don't mean safer in that sense, but I mean safer as in I did feel more confident because I could just kind of be myself. My confidence went up and up and up as I did the competitions. It definitely did drop when I lost competitions, which did quite happen as usual, as it does. You don't always win. It did drop and I used to get really sad. It's to the point where I used to cry a lot, but then I think, the whole world has kind of changed to bring people up. And I think that definitely helped me as well, made me realise that I need to kind of get out of this spiral that I was in. And dance, everything just kind of helped me through it. And here I am now.
That's how you prove people wrong as well. I mean, that just sounds so brilliant as well. And I feel like just you doing dance is, it increased your confidence because you were always in your element as well. Yeah. And it's unfortunate that we all do have, or most of us do have a lot of confidence when we're much younger, but because of societal pressures as we get older, that obviously causes us to lose self-esteem and self-love and obviously self-confidence as well. But we're glad that your confidence is all the way back up there and that you're here where you are today as well.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So kind of moving away from your dancing career, we're going to move on to your acting career. And my first question is to do with that is, why did you become an actress?
I think the reason why I became an actress, as I said in the previous questions, I was always bubbly and I was very, very dramatic. If anyone knows me when I was younger, I was very dramatic. I did a couple of drama classes, I did a couple of musical theatre classes. My mum I think when I used to watch the TV, I used to look up to a lot of people that was on the TV, and I used to be like, I want to be like that. But I don't think I really said it. It was just kind of in my eyes, you know. I just, like, it was a type of glistening thing. I can't, it sounds so dramatic. Nothing has changed. But I definitely think that the reason why I wanted to be an actress as well was because, like, I just wanted to be on TV. I wanted to show people my talent, because I knew from a young age I felt like I had it all in me. I just generally don't think there's another reason. Also, I think my family was rooting for me for a lot of things, especially my acting, and I wasn't as strong on my acting as I was in my dancing or my singing. Acting was like kind of nerve-wracking for me, but I always had it. So it was like, you know when you have something but you're so scared to show it. My family were like, come on Sienna, we want to get you on TV. So obviously I got an agent, and then Mallory Towers. Mallory Towers. But yeah, that's my story.
And obviously just doing that obviously just gets you out of your comfort zone as well, so it's so good that you did do that and that you did actually go to the acting industry, because otherwise you wouldn't be where you are now. So my next question is, what was your reaction when you found out you got the role of Sally Hope in Mallory Towers?
This is a very, very funny story. Okay, so it started off with, obviously I did the long audition process. So this is a long story. So it started off with, I was on the toilet, and then I went into my living room, and my agents were all in the house. I thought it was my mom's friend, and my agents, all 4 of them, were in my house. And I was like, hi guys, sorry I didn't know you was coming. And none of them spoke to me. They was like, sit down. I was like, oh, okay. There was a seat right in the middle of my room. Right, and my mum was like, come in Sienna. And I was shaking because my agents really scared me sometimes. My heart was racing. I came in, I sat down. I was like, hi guys, what's this unexpected visit? And then he was like, we need to talk to you about your school. So now I was like, oh no. I was like,
oh no.
Oh no. They were like, so we've got an email from your teacher, you've been expelled.
They really went that deep.
I really started crying, but because I was like in so much shock, I literally went like this. What? And they said, you've been expelled. And I said, oh wow, I haven't done anything. They were like, he was rude, he was this and that, and they really made it seem real. I was like, your acting skills are amazing. Oscar award-winning performance. I was like, wow, okay, so this is scary. So I don't have school to go to now. And I was sitting there and I was literally just about to cry, and I could tell they were looking at each other like,
they were smirking.
They were smirking, and I was sitting there like, and then they were like, and also we have some more news. And I was like, I was literally shouting. I was like, I haven't done anything, I promise. And they were like, you are the new role, Sally Hope. And I was like, yeah, whatever. What? And they were like, yeah, no, you're the new role, Sally Hope. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cameras around my whole room, and I didn't even realise. And I was like, oh my god, wow. I was like, whoa. And they were like, yeah, and you're going to be filming in Canada. I was like, what? I didn't even cry. Actually, I did cry. I cried a little bit, and I was like, oh my god, no way. I was like, no way. And they were like, yeah, that's you. And they were like giving me hugs, and I felt, oh god, it was really overwhelming. Even talking about it just makes me really excited. It was so overwhelming. You know what, really weird, I don't think anyone knows this, my first reaction was, I'm gonna leave my friends. My first reaction was, I'm gonna leave my friends for how many months? No one's gonna see me for how many months? 3 months. And I was really scared actually. And they were like, and you're not gonna be with your parents. And I was sitting there thinking, oh my god, this is gonna be real. I was really scared actually. I think I was really, really scared. And then the next day the lines came through, everything came through, and I was like, oh my god, this is crazy. I was like, I actually did this. And my nan, I have to thank my nan. If my nan does see this, I have to thank my nan. If it wasn't for my nan taking me to that audition room, I didn't even want to go. I was so scared because there was thousands of kids in that room. Whoa. And I was there for like 4 hours, and my nan we was running lines. Like, I just have to thank my nan for that. But I called my nan straight away. I was like, Nan, I got the role. And my nan was like, the Lord bless us. The Lord bless us. Thank you so much. Praying to God. And I was like, oh my God, I called my whole family. We were so excited. I think, that's my story.
That is my story once again. But that is a very big roller coaster of emotions, I can definitely imagine, because them telling you that you got expelled from your school.
Yeah.
And then suddenly dropping this other just like bomb on you.
Yeah, literally.
Very, very overwhelming, but it's a very good way to tell you that exciting news as well.
I know. I don't even know how this was. I was so creative. It was so creative.
They should be the actors.
They should.
The new directors of the new show.
Yeah, they should. Seriously, it was amazing. It was just crazy though, like to think that I actually got expelled. Like I really for a second thought I got expelled. I got so scared. But yeah.
Luckily you didn't.
Luckily I didn't.
Luckily you didn't. So obviously filming for 3 months on set must have been a very big, just exciting roller coaster again. Probably a little bit more than your reaction to getting the role as well. So what was your favourite memory from being on set?
I actually think, I can't even put it into one memory. I think the whole experience was just, you know what, one word to really like conclude the whole experience? I think it's loving. I know it sounds so weird, but you would never think someone who you meet in 1 week is your best friend. You know, all of the girls we talk every day, they're my best friends. I just think it's so weird, like, I could say loving, because the whole cast and crew are just super sweet. Every day was a new experience, really. Honestly, we met new people every day, you know, new cast members, new crew. And I think, actually, if I could say one bit, was my last day. It was, my last day was so sad, but it was such a heartfelt moment. It was when they announced that we were like, set is over, and we all just cried. Everyone cried, the crew cried, the cast members cried, and we went around. Oh my god, it was so sweet. The last scene was Ella and Dania, I believe, and we were filming them, and it was really dark as well, and it was like a nighttime feeling. It was so warming, and you know, so weird. Sometimes I just really think about it, and like I could, if I wanted to, I'd go back to that day and I'd replay it every single day of my life, because it was just so sweet. And I think we took all videos together, and obviously everyone made edits out of it. And you would never think, like, we never thought, just by filming that, it was kind of like, we never think it would be what it is now. Malawi Towers is what it is now, but just to think back to that day, it's just like, it's just everything. It was just amazing. I think that's my favourite moment on set.
Yeah, it just sounds just so lovely, and obviously just that whole just like relationship that you all built together, not even just with the cast members, also with the crew. You don't usually hear that quite a lot. You just kind of feel like, oh yeah, the crew's just there just to film, but actually you guys fully made a bond while being on set, so that's absolutely fantastic, and it's so amazing the success that Malawi Towers has already had as well. So my next question is, what are your top 3 tips to become an actress or to start a career in the acting industry?
Okay, so as we talked before about my confidence, I think confidence is a really big thing, and confidence shows kind of throughout. I believe it shows throughout. You know, if you walk into an audition room, your posture shows a lot. If you're like this, if you're like this, your body language shows a lot. The way you speak, the way you talk to others shows a lot. I think my first tip is, you need to believe. This has to be something you want, because acting can be really hard, even if you're just trying to have it as a professional job and that's your only job, because, you know, it's not consistent, you know, especially just if you're in an agency, it's not consistent, it's not a consistent job. So you need to have patience, and you definitely, obviously, it's kids that want to be actors at this point, but you need to have patience, and you need to have the dedication, and you need to want to be an actress or an actor. You need to, because if you don't want it, it's going to be half-hearted, and then it just won't work out for you, because you're not going to fully want the role, you're not going to fully practice for it, you're not going to fully want to go for it. So that's my first tip. You need to make sure this is what you want to do. I think my second tip, as I said, you know what, my second tip is definitely remember your lines. That might be quite stressful just to hear, remember your lines, but you need to remember your lines. If you get a role, obviously, remember your lines, or remember the instructions that are given to you. Just remember the lines, because the reason why is, I think once you remember your lines fully, you can add your own little flavour to it. It makes you a little bit of spice. It makes you less stressed as a whole, and it makes you enjoy the job more. Because I know in the first week of Malawi Towers, I was super stressed about my lines, And it was stressed me out a little bit. I'm going to be honest. It did stress me out a little bit, but I think once I remembered all my lines and the cast obviously helped me, it was such a much better experience. And I think my third one, this one is going to be a bit detailed. I think my third one is think about your image. Really think about your image. I can't explain it to you any other way, but think about getting yourself out there first. I don't know, through lots of social media. Vanessa could definitely tell you about social media. Through social media, through all types of ways, and try and get yourself out there. If you couldn't get an agent, definitely get an agent is really important as well. I think it's really important. Or you know if you go on the newspapers and stuff, on the back of the newspapers there's little casting jobs you can get to, just as many castings as you can. Just really, really, really try and get yourself out there, because the more you get recognised, the more directors realise who you are, the bigger you get, and you could be Beyonce one day, you never know. But I think, yeah, those are my 3 tips.
I mean, thank you so much for sharing those. That is always just so powerful as well. I definitely agree with you. Even if you just do like self-taped, even if you go to auditions and you don't get the role, you're still getting your face in front of all those people to potentially get you jobs in the future. So always think about who you're going to be in front of and the impression you're going to make on others. So on the show here, we also like to talk about topics that are going to keep you guys educated as well. So my next question is, how did you feel when you went to the Black Lives Matter protest?
Oh, the Black Lives Matter protest. Words can't explain how amazing. Like, I said to my mum, I cried to my mum, and I said to my mum, that opportunity was absolutely crazy, because I think that was it. I go right at the beginning of the pandemic, so it was a bit touchy because of how many people were going to be there. But obviously I had to go to support Black Lives Matter. So when I went there, I didn't know what I was walking into. I've never been to one. I've seen them on the internet. I really wanted to go, and I don't know if anyone knew how the news was trying to make out that the Black Lives Matter protest was violent. And I was, my mum was like, no, we definitely need to go. We need to experience it for ourselves. We can't just count on the news to tell us. So we went. We walked into the protest. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. There was a huge range of diversity. There was so many people there just, protesting. And it was there was 6 different groups. One group was protesting with music. One other group was having a little bit of a party. People were doing candy. When I went to the last group, it was actually incredible. So it was so hot, and what they were doing is they were just talking about the protests in general, and they were talking about Black Lives Matter and the fact that, the government and Boris and Trump and everything. And we was all listening. Some people were kind of still walking around, No one was really still and listening, but me and my mum definitely were. I feel like I saw you that day. I don't know. Maybe we probably did run into each other. Anyways, so
maybe we didn't realise.
Maybe I'm not even sure. I saw so many people there that day. Anyway, so what they did at the end was they was talking and they were saying all the people that had been killed. Slavery from police, right? And obviously George Floyd was a huge situation, huge matter at the time. And so we were there and they were saying the names and we had to repeat them after them. I'm not even joking. When we got to the last 2 ones before they said George Floyd, they said George Floyd and it poured down my brain. There was thunder. There wasn't even clouds. There was no clouds. I'm not even joking to you. I got so scared. I was like, wow. I was so scared. They said 2 names and then they said George Floyd, and we all put our arms up and we held the arms for not 5 minutes, so how long George was held down. And we put our fist up and it started pouring down with rain, absolutely pouring. But in respect, no one got up. We sat there in the rain. My shoes were muddy, but I didn't care because it was actually incredible. I got it on film. It was crazy. And I was like, oh my God. Because it was just it was like our ancestors or someone was listening. I felt like George Floyd in heaven was listening to us, because I'm quite a religious person. I'm Christian. And George Floyd definitely, I felt like he was listening to us and he was trying to show us a sign or something, because that is a one in a life opportunity. And that just really was a cherry on top for that protest, because obviously I had a little bit of a dance at Candy. We sang gospel songs. We all got down on our knee and held it. I made a banner and everything. It was so incredible. It was an amazing experience. I was actually supposed to go to a birthday party that day, and I'm so happy I didn't go, because that protest was absolutely incredible.
So before we wrap up this interview, where can we follow you on social media?
On Instagram, you can follow me on Sienna _Arif _Knights, and on TikTok, you can follow me on Sienna _AK. I just want to say one thing, if that's okay. Thank you so much for having me, by the way, Vanessa. But I just want to say one thing. On my Instagram, I just want everyone to know, because I know these times can be really hard because of the virus and the pandemic, but I want everyone to know that my page is a really safe space for you guys to DM me, or if you have any problems, I would happily love to listen. I'm in lockdown anyway, so I have nothing to do anyways. But I really want you guys to know that it's such a safe space for you guys to literally just say anything. If you're in any type of situation and you just want to talk about it, or you don't want to go to authorities and you just need someone to talk to, I would just sit there and listen. I happily would love to do that for you guys. If you just need to vent, because I know that it can be really, really tough, because everyone's going through lots of different things. So yeah, hopefully I got that across to you guys. I did post it on my Instagram, but yeah, thank you so much, guys, for listening to me, and thank you so much for having me, Vanessa. It's been such a pleasure to be on your show.
Well, it's been such a pleasure having you as my guest. Thank you for sharing everything about your journey as well, and I just wish you all of the success in the future in your dance competitions and in acting as well. Thank you also so much for watching. Make sure to go and watch all the other previous episodes we've done with other inspiring guests, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye!